Hi, I am Veronica from Yoga Born in Stursley. Welcome to Move Through May. Today I am going to talk to you about Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. But before to start to talk about the pose, I would like to catch 3 breaths together. So sit down comfortable with your leg crossed or on your knees, your spine straight, your shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes. And now inhale through the nose deeply. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Open your eyes and let's start to explore the pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana, translated is downward facing dog, is a pose that is considered a resting pose, but not a resting pose completely like maybe child pose. Is an active resting pose because the body continues to work a lot in this pose, but at the same time helps to get back focus, to lower down your heart rate. So let's see downward facing dog. We can start from tabletop pose. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders distant apart, your knees underneath your hips, and they are hip distant apart. Tuck your toes and now raise your hip, and now you are in downward facing dog. When you are in the pose, you can adjust yourself for more comfortness. Spread your fingers on the mat. Rotate your armpits towards the middle line to straighten your arms. And bring the weight of your body towards your heels, grounding your feet. Your tailbone raise up. If your heels don't touch the mat, it's not important. This depends on our anatomy. Yes, we can become more flexible with our ankles, continue to do the pose, but at a certain point we have the limit of our joint. It's not an issue to if you don't reach with your heels down. The important thing, you bring your weight towards your heels. Engage your core, pulling the pit of your belly in and up. You connect with your breath. Maybe you stay in the pose for 5 full breaths. Now lower down your knees and take a rest for a moment, and we talk about downward facing dog. When we are beginners, downward facing dog looks very strong. Some people suffer in downward facing dog, but with the time becomes more comfortable until really becomes a resting pose, and is my favorite place to be after a sequence, maybe hard sequence. Going to downward facing dog really helps. So with the time becomes easier. Variations in downward facing dog. For example, like I was saying before, if your heels they don't touch the floor, is completely fine. And you can take your knees slightly bent. Not necessarily you have to straighten your legs. If you feel tight in your hamstring, you can keep your knees bent. If you have issues with the wrist, some people they have a problem with the tension in the wrist, with some pain. If you feel the pain in your wrist, before the practice, remember to warm up your wrist. There are different exercises to do. To solve the problem in the moment you have the pain, you can use, for example, a blanket to raise the back of your palm a little bit higher, just 1 centimeter, and then you ground down your fingers, and then you should feel a little bit less pressure on your wrist. This can be a variation. I know they sell also some props for this reason, to raise the back of your palm, but the blanket works very well. Some people prefer to bend the elbows and place the forearms like a dolphin pose, but not deep dolphin pose, because it's very hard for our shoulders. But if you have issues with your wrist, maybe this could help, but it's much harder to stay in downward facing dog in this way. So be careful to your wrist. Yoga brings often to have issues, but we can become stronger, continue with the practice, be careful warming up properly, and the more we practice the yoga, the more the body becomes strong. If you ground yourself, your hands and your feet properly, trying really to even the weight between the front and the back, it releases a lot the pressure in your wrist. And so try really to work in placing your body and feeling where is the right spot for you without creating that pressure. The benefits of downward facing dog are huge, because it's a pose, like I was saying before, that helps us to rest during the practice, between poses, between sequences, and give us the chance to lower down heart rate and to go back in focus. Because what happens when our breath starts to be fast, our heart beat too fast, we lose focus. And so downward facing dog set you again to have a concentration and to continue with your practice. And then it's very good for our body, because stretch our hamstrings, release the pressure on our back. Also, this is an amazing characteristic of downward facing dog, because it's an half inversion. In this way, our spine lengthens and doesn't have that pressure of the gravity when we stand up. So helps to lengthen our spine, to release the tension in our spine, release the pressure of the gravity, and plus works very well our shoulders, our arms. Like I said, is a pose that is quite complete. I feel this pose amazing in yoga for all these characteristics, and the fact that give me back that stillness that is the most important part. Is the most important part during the practice. Finding back your focus, your stillness, your calm. Poi there are variations to increase instead the strength of this pose. So from downward facing dog, you can think to try to have a twist, maybe bringing your left hand to your right ankle, and really opening your chest to the side, twisting from the base of your spine, looking towards the sky. This is a very, very good way to use this pose to increase the potential of the pose, and twisting obviously to the opposite side. Then you can use the pose to strengthen your arms, your shoulders, raising the leg, and then bringing the knee towards your chest, and You can bring the knee towards the side and towards the opposite side for a twist. In this way, really you work hard in your shoulders, your legs works. And raising your heels high on your tiptoes, bringing the weight a little bit towards your shoulders and then ground down and relax. This is another good way to use the pose. And then there are many other ways to increase the potential of the pose. Before to close the video, I would like to catch a breath together again. So open your shoulders, your spine relaxed. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, letting go. If you enjoyed this video, there are other videos through May where we explore different asanas. Remember to subscribe to the channel because it's completely free and help the channel to grow and to continue to produce video. If you want to join me to one of my classes at Yoga Born, you can find me on Wednesday morning for strength class or Saturday morning for ENERGISE. But if you take a look to the website of Yoga Born, you will find many different classes for different abilities in a very friendly environment. So take a look to the website. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.